Hi, everyone. This is Mike here to talk to you quickly about the fight for COLA and the strive for five. So, in order to talk about COLA, let's look at three teachers. Teacher A is in first year, Teacher J is in year 10, and Teacher T is in year 20. This is their salary for this school year at the BA level. Now, in order to keep up with the cost of inflation, meaning that this is what you would need to make in order to just break even and be able to afford the same amount that you did the previous year, you would need your salary to raise up to the numbers you see on the right there. So if you're at 43,000, you're now slightly over 45,000 in order to make that adjustment. According to the district's proposal, which would be a 2% cost of living adjustment plus steps and lanes, as you can see, even if you advance to the next step, your cost of living adjustment, if it doesn't meet the rate of inflation, means that the money is going down. So for teacher A, the first year teacher, they are still making a little bit more money compared to the previous year, which was $850 more. But for teachers J and T, the 10 and 20 year veterans, they're actually making about $1,000 less compared to what they would need to break even for inflation. Compared to what MTI's proposal is, which is the 4.7 cost of living adjustment plus steps and lanes, as you can see, everyone makes out a lot better. Teacher A is now making $2,000 above, which we would argue is really important for retention because we know first through third year teachers really need that money for student loans and bills and things like that as you're coming out and starting into the workforce. For teachers J and T, while you're making $500 to $600 more, which doesn't seem like a lot, it's still better than making $1,000 less in order to keep up with inflation. So let's now talk about the strive for five. Why are we saying that all educational support professionals and EAs need $5 added to their wages? Well, starting wages in MMSD as an EA is about $15.96 an hour. Compared to our colleagues in Dane County, that is low. Waunakee starts at $16 an hour even, but then as you go up, in other districts, you start at like Sun Prairie at $18.95 an hour. So roughly $3 more an hour at Sun Prairie. In Verona, it's $18 an hour, but they also offer a $2,000 signing bonus. So as you can see, the incentive would be to move into those districts. Other factors we should all consider when we're talking about the strive for five is that educational support professionals, because their salaries aren't guaranteed in the summer and during winter and spring break, end up working second or sometimes third jobs outside of school, which means that that's obviously going to lead to greater burnout or transitioning to better paying jobs far quicker. That could be other jobs within the district, whether that's custodians, bus driving, clerical jobs, or greater competition in the private sector, since we are seeing, as we all are seeing, Walmart, Target, Quick Trip, all these companies are raising their wages because of worker scarcity. So we're not just competing with Verona, we're also competing with Walmart. Also, we know that educational support professionals in this unit are disproportionately people of color, with fewer opportunities for upward economic mobility because their salary schedule is frozen in certain years, as well as doesn't move up as quickly as teachers. So, under the current salary model, it disincentivizes people, which is a huge equity issue. Also, we know anyone who's worked in a school knows that our EAs and our ESPs are key in relationship building with students and families, since they are working closest with our scholars. So the higher turnover we're seeing, we also know that will extremely negatively impact kids. So, big question. Can the district afford our proposal? And that answer is an overwhelming yes. And here's how. Every district is required to have an operating budget with something called a Fund 10. And what Fund 10 is that they have to keep a certain percentage of funds on hand in reserve, so as like a rainy day sort of thing, called the Fund 10 balance. And that's roughly between 10 to 15% of their expected expenditures. So if you spend, let's say $300 million, you're supposed to have at least 10 to 15% over that in order in case of a rainy day. We would argue the last couple of years, especially this past year, is a flood or a hurricane, not just a rainy day. So currently, the district has about 19% in their Fund 10 balance, and it's been above 15% for several years. A lot of that is due to the fact that they have had so many unfilled positions. They have actually been saving money for all the salaries they haven't been paying out that they had been budgeting for because of the worker scarcity. So what our proposal is that the district brings that balance down to the maximum. It's board policy to be 15%. Anything over 15%, they're supposed to be spending. And we say bring it down to the maximum over the next 2 years. Bring it down to 17% in 2022-23 and bring it down to 15% in 23-24. That would free up between $15 to $20 million in available funds. And that would be able to cover a cost of living adjustment for every single employee, all steps and lanes for for every worker, as well as a $5 increase for all educational support professionals. Also, it would help increase our substitute pay rates so that we can attract and retain more substitute teachers, which we know is a huge issue in our district, as well as any other district. And best yet, there doesn't have to be any cuts to any services, any cuts to anything. District can still push all their initiatives, all their ESSER initiatives, all the things that look good on their side for the budget. So what are we doing next to push for this model? Well, we are going to have a Strive for 5 rally at Wright Middle School this Monday, May 9th at 4:30 p.m. All are welcome to attend. And let's make sure that we are hearing and centering the voices of our educational support professionals, our EAs. After the rally, faculty reps and FREDs are encouraged to stay after so we can do more planning and disseminate more information out to get out to all members at your respective work sites. Then we're going to be rolling our actions forward with an action pledge, as well as a possible rally at Doyle with community stakeholders. So that and also remember, as part of our wait and see campaign, when your contracts arrive in the next couple of weeks, if you get a contract, hold on to them and do not submit them. Even if you're planning on leaving, even if you're planning on retiring, please hold on to your contracts. It's really important that the district knows that our labor should not be taken for granted or assumed that we're going to be moving forward. So until next time, thank you for all that you've done, in solidarity.